My name's Danielle CHIEL and I own a company KOCO, K-O-C-O, and that stands for Knit One, Change One. It's a partnership between my company here in Australia and women who live in rural villages of southern India, and together we hand knit for the world's fashion brands. I met Mark at a business networking event. It was a round table day, and the sign on his table was how to grow and scale your business the easy way. And I was really drawn to that. The roundtable discussion lasted a couple of hours because everybody at the table got a turn to say what their business was. But the thing that really drew me to Mark from that very first minute was his creativity. He was a filmmaker, he'd been to India, but then clearly afterwards was his hardcore business nous as well, that he's raised finance, he's coached really big businesses, he's had broad experience across many areas. And that combination for me was magic. So I wouldn't let him go after getting his business card. Mark does so many things. Of course, the obvious one is he coaches me, but he supports me, he supports the business. He supports the blend of me and the business. He supports the family, and he takes an interest not only in the hardcore business numbers of saying, come on, Danielle, where is this? But he also takes an interest in my personal life. And I think that's a pretty unique combination, and I really value it. Mark has supported me over the years by implementing so many different techniques. Sometimes he holds my hand and does it the gentle way of growing the business. But other times when I leave Mark, my head is absolutely full and I think, how am I going to manage this? So he's got the art of knowing when to push the button and make you work at your absolute maximum, and to know when to take the foot off the pedal to just keep going and support whatever it is that you work at. He's really creative, but my God, those spreadsheets really do my head in. And a combination of both has what helped my business grow much faster than it would have had unquestionably if I hadn't met Mark. Mark's genius is, I think, his actual personality type. He's really humble. And it's really easy to think that he wouldn't know anything. But he's absolutely a genius when it comes to business. And because of that creativity that I mentioned before, putting them together not only solves many, many problems, but it helps bring out the best results in me, and I can't imagine that wouldn't be the case for all his clients. And he knows what degree of support to give when you're going through various stages of growth intuitively without you having to articulate it. So when a coach or a support mentor knows that, it makes a magic blend of results. The impact that Mark has had on my life since working with him is confidence. I had a vision when I met Mark. I had a purpose when I met Mark. But having said that, I think he'd be very good at unlocking other people's purposes because it's really focused. But because I already work in a developing country, my purpose was pretty clear. But he gave me a lot of confidence that I could actually, with him by my side, that I could actually pull off this big hairy ambition that I had of wanting to employ up to 40,000 women. So it's like, how am I going to go, Mark, from starting with 5 women to having this massive vision? And it's not just a vision, that I actually want to do it. And it's a reality. And Mark has ensured that that's happened. And of course, I've cried many times, not with Mark, but with the pains of trying to grow a massive business. But when I'm with Mark, he gives me always, I leave feeling this added sense of confidence, regardless of whether my head's done in because I've got so much information I'm drowning in it, or it's just one of those supportive conversations about, okay, we've achieved this goal, what's the next one? It's knowing that somebody is right there for you on the phone, by email, of whatever it is that life in that business journey is going to throw you. Well, I'm a girl, and so I had to have Google Maps talk to me how to get there, and there was no satellite for part of the way. So my first introduction was going to Mark, answering the phone. He was there for me. Mark, the sat-nav has just cut out. But thank God that doesn't happen anymore. And Google Maps and Apple actually talked to me all the way there. So it was a bit of adventure getting there. I had to fly to Port Macquarie. I hired a car. I drove out, and part of the road is on dirt road. It reminded me very much of my childhood because I was a girl guide and I went camping. So in my heart, I was laughing. It's like, oh, this will be interesting. Deja vu. Who goes to a business coach in the middle of nowhere? But having got there, Mark is, his personality is really welcoming. So it's a very casual hello. I'm always starving by the time I get there because I have to concentrate so hard on the directions. But within the first 10 minutes, I've been fed, and then the conversations start. And that combination of having fresh air, being away from in front of the computer, not having the phone ringing every 45 minutes, and still talking 100% business, I don't know, it just brings results that are really productive. I don't even know the word, but meaningful. The thing that I enjoy most about working with Mark is just having him be there. I know he's got the knowledge to take me where I want to go, and that is, I'm on this journey to having this huge global business. I know that sometimes I need downtime, and I work in India. I work all over the place, actually. I work in Sydney. I work in India. Business comes from all the countries. But he's just there, and he's reliable. And when he says he's going to be there, he's there. When the information is going to be delivered, it's there. And nothing builds bigger trust in somebody than just regular, good, old-fashioned reliability. So when I started with Mark, I think I had 10 ladies who knit. I've just, with Mark's help, put out for funding to have my first 1,000 women. And everything is digital now. And it's a bit ironical that in India, the country that produces all this IT, that all the businesses are still run by paper and bureaucratic. But somehow or other I've managed to crack through all that, and in a rural village where there's hardly any data and hardly any Wi-Fi and hardly any internet because the electricity cuts out, we still manage to produce this electronically driven business that cuts in the hard end as well as the other end. And so keeping that balance and being really hard-nosed about the business despite what's going on at the other end is one thing. I don't know that I've learnt it from Mark, but he's really ensured that I've stayed focused there 100%. I would recommend Mark to anyone who wants to grow either a global business or has a big vision or is finding that they have a great business and is lacking in a purpose, needs a bit more depth in their life. Anybody who is really got a burning desire to grow either themselves or their business, because many times I'm sure everybody knows the thing that keeps us being held back in a business is actually ourselves, not the business itself. So there's got to be a willingness to have personal growth there. So anybody who ticks any of those boxes and is up for a bit of an adventure, who knows it's going to come to reality, Mark's your guy.